Welcome to Oldsmobile 455, back at the shop. You can see the vehicle has had the glass taken out and it's pretty well stripped out now.
But here's what we found underneath here, just a complete mess, and they did us the favor of cutting out all this metal here, so we're going to have to graft some metal in there. And whoever did the stereo really did a disservice here. They didn't even take out the old wiring. They just slopped it all back here, and there you have it. So we'll get this all cleaned up and proceed. They didn't bother undoing the seat belts either to get the top of the back seat out. They just cut the straps, so we'll have to patch those. Ripping all the carpeting out here, and noticed that they had carpeting over carpeting. So this is probably the original carpeting, I would guess. Slim chance to be a build sheet under there, but there is. It's probably completely destroyed. Floor plan's gonna need a pretty sizable patch. Sure seems to help for cutting through there. So we're just going to keep working around it and then see if we can get her out. Oh, it came right off. Looking real nice under the glass there. Car had no kind of reception, and the windshield did not have the plug into this. I wonder if it had something to do with that. To clean up the rest of the channel, see how all that looks, but so far so good. I just got a little impatient. I pulled up on it and ended up cracking just the corner of it. Other than that, we got it out without cracking it though. We got foam here. Speakers weren't even screwed in. They got some Pioneers up here. This piece was epoxied. I do think we have one of these in the parts pile though. Almost looks like they melted this or something to get that speaker in there. A lot of damage from the stereo installation. We are going to be putting a different dash in this car though. Cleaning out this whole channel as best as I could, and then we're going to try a different tool for getting the back glass out. This wasn't cutting it. Here's that patch. We took the dash out. You can see the blend door gasket needs to be redone. Probably firewall padding, all the same stuff the Javelin got. Floors patched and painted. The driver's side's looking pretty good. Don't think we have to do anything there. We did take the headliner out, and since we took the dash out, looking everywhere for a build sheet and no build sheet. So it is what it is. Keep plucking away at it. We just got the quarter glass out of it. Here it is. Whatever they use on this is quite a bit more durable than what was on the windshield. And this is what we used. Just sharpen the sides of this blade here. Kind of worked it around there and it dropped right out. Got the rear glass out without cracking it. All the door glass is out of it too. I'm going to clean all these pieces up and get them up in storage.
If you had somebody like a girl that didn't work on cars, she'd come around and go, "What did you do to the car?" But you always have to go back 2 steps to go 1 step forward. And in order to get it to the way he wants it, it's got to be stripped out totally, and every part of this car is going to be touched. It's going to be like when it came off the assembly line. So you got to get behind it, on top, everywhere, and prime, and paint. And we have the gas tank out of it, and we're going to take the rear end out of it and get that whole housing cleaned up. But you'll see that this is galvanized, but we're water laid on it. You get fuzzy rust. We'll get that cleaned up, then we'll put a metal etch primer, and we'll paint the whole gas tank. Then we can store that, it's been emptied out and stuff, but we're not gonna take that inside the house. We wanted a car from California, so we wouldn't have to do any kind of metal work, but it looks like we didn't avoid patching. He's gonna get original metal so that all the little dimples and grooves and the patch hole or the drain hole, everything will line up perfectly, and then weld it and grind it, and you won't even see it. So the sheet metal patch is right there, and you can see how all the little convoluted strengthening ribs are all in matching places. And you lay it in there and you mark it out and cut it, and then have a little bit of an overlap, and when you weld it top and bottom and seal it, you grind it, you won't even see it. You want any kind of metal for a 67 to 69 Camaro or a Mustang, they make everything for that. These kind of cars, you're just hopefully thankful that there is a company at all that makes pieces for it. So if it's Sherman, anybody else that needs a piece of metal made for it, maybe that would be the company to look up. I don't know if this guy was, what the hell he was hauling, but he cut out that piece in the back. We're gonna probably have to get that from a junkyard car. Most likely it's not rusted because it's, on the interior, but that's a hack job. There's pieces that are supposed to come up here. I wanted to just take a piece of metal and patch it in, but he's gotta have it exactly like stock. Then in the back, we knew about this when we were driving away, and all of a sudden there's this panel laying across the back, and I was like clearing the thing out on our first gas station stop where we noticed there was no water in the radiator. I throw this thing away, and all of a sudden here's this huge hole. What the hell he was doing back here, I don't know. But he wants to get this all restored. Now that the glass is out, you can see how this seal was going bad, and water was getting in, and this whole piece, we're hoping that we can get a hold of this, and there's stuff going on here. After we get done with the whole undercarriage of the car, then we'll start on the top and work our way down, and then we'll discover what's going on here. So this will be intricate work that we're gonna have to do, and you gotta get your glass up to it and make sure that when you're done doing body work, the seal is gonna be able to keep water from infiltrating your interior. So this is our work that's cut out for us. So what we got going on here is the vehicle had an undercoating on it, real small, thin shot of that old stuff. You see it flaking off. I'm just scraping this off. There's a few dingers here and there, but we're gonna prime it and paint it, and everything underneath the car is gonna be painted. There isn't gonna be any undercoating. We're not gonna be driving in the winter. Probably won't even ride it in the rain.